guys, so welcome to Ask the Dropouts for this month. It's a little different. We're finally kind of, getting safe and coming together.
And if you guys don't know what Ask the Dropouts is, it's a monthly, I guess... It's
a monthly it's kind of like a podcast.
Video podcast that we do. We give you guys updates with what's going on with the channel, as well as like anything that's coming up and what's going on with our lives. And sometimes we have guests, or we answer your questions, because you can ask the Dropouts.
Right. So, but first off, hi, I'm Joey Min. This is Steph.
Hello.
Please follow us on our social medias. But we wanted to say thank you very much to the Paper Tigers production. Like, they sent this over with alongside stickers.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. Thank you so much.
Like a nice card and everything.
Right.
Like, if you guys don't know about like Paper Tigers, check it out. They had all these premieres at these like film festivals all over the place.
So just to give we did interview Bao Trang, who is the director of Paper Tigers, like a few months back. So check it out. But if quick synopsis, Paper Tigers is about three retired martial artists trying to find finding their meaning back, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome.
Without spoiling.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but definitely I loved it. I thought it was like
wholesome.
It's very it's wholesome, and it feels really good because it hits close to home when it comes to like martial arts and what it is coming with age.
And it's really not
it's a coming of age story.
It's not really a typical like martial arts film. It's definitely, you can feel the heart that was put into the film.
So much love.
So much. Like, I guess when we're recording this, last I checked on their website and on their Facebook, they got picked up by Well Go USA.
Hey, Well Go USA.
I think they're gonna have theatrical distribution or theatrical screenings in the spring of this year, 2021. So check them out, follow them on their Facebook and social media accounts, and see if they're actually going to be premiering or screening any theaters, or I guess anywhere near you, or maybe they're gonna do online screening. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but definitely would want to support and watch it again. It's really good.
I loved it.
Thank you so much to their producer Alan for sending us over these shirts. They're actually really soft. Yeah, there's like the
their symbol, right?
Yeah, the symbol on the back.
The 3 tigers. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's so cool. Any updates on your end, Joey? Besides cooking.
Well, nothing much. I think definitely, if you guys have checked out this month, hopefully you guys really so far, this is actually the first time we're putting out a vlog this month, right? So we put out this month a vlog this month, and we're still keeping up with the practicing fight scenes. So don't worry, we're slowly kind of ramping up our production, but yeah, obviously trying to keep it safe. So it's just just the 3 of us for now.
And don't worry, got tested and everything. We're being very safe, guys. If you're watching this and this is at the end of February, you guys will know that it is your last chance to take advantage of the mom at work, staff at work mug that's available on Patreon. So get it now, because
forever hold your peace.
Yeah, seriously, I don't know if I'm going to bring back the design, but anybody who's a current patron or a patron starting for the months of January and February, 3 months from now, you guys will get a shipment from Patreon with the mug. Just check it out. We're gonna have more mugs in the future. I might just add another mug design. We'll see. Really excited about it. So that's the Patreon update, and please check out our Patreon if you guys haven't done so. Doing a lot of stuff on there, and Discord. But in other news, we actually got packages from our patrons, fans.
I hope this is not loud if I start cooking.
How loud is it?
Oh, that's fine.
It sounds like an AC unit, if anything. It's fine.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. All right, continue.
So, not really sure what they sent over. Yeah, it was weird. We got a lot of stuff today in the mail.
I'm sure our mailbox guy was like, "Oh, finally, you guys are."
I know, you guys don't usually get anything, but you actually.
It's been COVID, man.
So yeah, thank you to Friso and Colin for sending us these packages. I think it's snacks. So we'll see what's what's in them. So we're basically, this is turned into Ask the Dropouts, the unboxing version.
I guess so. Well, thank you so much for everybody that's sent us stuff.
Wow. Colin, how am I supposed to? Okay, so this one, opening Colin's up first. This one came all the way from the UK.
Ooh.
Alright, I'm just gonna rip apart this box because I have no idea how to open it because it's literally taped all the way. What? What is this?
Wow.
Wow. What is this?
Oh, hello.
Wow.
Wait.
Oh, hello.
That's why I said hello.
I was like, why are you
Wait, I have rice in my hands. I'm sorry.
Oh, he has nice writing. Dear Steph and Joey, I have put a few things for the dropouts to share in this box. All the food and drinks is made locally to where I live, so enjoy. Oh, pens are so Steph has plenty of colors to keep you organized, and the tie pin is for when Joey has to wear a suit when you win a film award.
I don't have a tie pin. This would be my first one. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. It looks so official.
I also added an M4, is that an M42 or M4Z mount 28mm with...
For the lens?
With clipless aperture option, as I heard you can get a small 3D printed part to add to the back to turn them into anamorphic. I left the Canon converter on for easy mount options, but it just unscrews. I hope it's fun to play around with. Hope all are well. Regards, Colin Cameron. Yes, sorry about the handwriting as I mostly use computers and email. It has...
You have great handwriting, dude. What are you talking about?
Deteriorated a bit. What?
You should see our chicken scratch.
Okay, we have to keep this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Should like laminate it or something.
But close your eyes. Smell.
What is that?
Yeah, I know.
I hear it. Wow. Thank God it has a back to it. Holy crap! I honestly thought you were just gonna send us like candy, and I was like so excited for that. I had no idea.
Thank you so much, honestly. Hey.
Looks like a scarf. Whoa. Yo, that is so cool. Look at this. More milk chocolate caramel butter wafer biscuits.
Oh. Are those like the pure sugar ones?
I don't know, but we just have a lot of wafer biscuits now. And okay, I will share. I'm not gonna eat all of it. Okay, what is this? I'm pretty sure you guys had commented it in like the Discord before, and I had no idea what it was. But it looks like a drink. It is sparkling flavored soft drink with sugar and sweeteners. Brewed in Scotland. Oh, a secret recipe since 1901. Okay. Oh, caramel logs. Roasted coconut covered caramel wafer biscuits.
That looks and sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Here you go. You can get close up with that. All right.
Yeah,
new drink. Angie, you want one too, right?
Yes, please.
You want green tea?
Yes, please.
Okay, this one's funny because it says it is packed by goblins.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's so fancy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, I'm just gonna eat. Yeah, screw it.
Yeah. How's that?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so this one is from Freeze Dough, all the way from the Netherlands.
Hey.
I don't know how to open boxes, it seems. Why am I the one stuck with this task here? Damn it.
Would you rather cook?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Use the knife. Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
How the hell did you cut that, by the way? No, that's not.
It's funny because like I don't know what any of this is, but I'm really excited to just try it. Okay, old timers, pepper notin, spice spelt cookies. I was like looking for the English scan.
Oh. Thank you so much, Pretty Self.
Oh, more old timers. Wait, they're both different. We'll figure it out what these are. That's a lot.
Right? Yeah, thank you. Oh, there's a card! It's at the bottom. Oh.
Hi, ASDO fam. How are you all? We're doing okay. We're doing awesome. I mean, this is so cool. We don't get fan mail, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
Doing well, I hope, considering the current situation. Here's a little care package for you all with some Dutch sweets to help get you through the holidays. I know this year didn't go to plan, but I want you to know I really appreciate all you've been doing. The grindhouses and movie nights have really been bright spots for me this year. Happy holidays and much love. Yours, Friso.
Thank you. Or, yeah, we could make a...
We need like a wall.
Yeah, I need to make a wall. Alright.
I mean, it's not something we were like, yeah,
I'll put it
we're
here.
gonna have a wall, but like, this never really occurred to us until now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Guys.
Did you paint this, Friso? I think
Alright,
he did.
Friso paints. So, if you guys...
Look how nice that is.
I'll put his Instagram down here. Please check him out.
YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. I mean,
thank you so much.
Yeah, really, really appreciate it. We do have a PO mailbox.
Yeah.
We do have a mailbox if you guys want to send us anything.
Oh, I was supposed to open it that way? Oops.
Alright guys, thank you again for sending us and watching us and supporting us all. Like, just thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. Please, I hope you guys enjoyed our little, I don't even know, our unboxing of our fan mail.
It's something that I never thought we would ever do.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. It means a lot to us.
I promise I will share. I love sweets.
You know, we are going to finally get to our guest that has been waiting to talk to us.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Hey guys, welcome to this month's Ask the Dropouts. I am here. I'm Stephanie. I'm one of the hosts here with Joey and our special guest, Cuddle, Sifu Kuttel. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey. All right. So, hey, what's up? This is Sifu Kuttel. I teach Choi Lei Fat style Kung Fu and Yang style Tai Chi. I've been doing it for over 20 years now and teaching professionally for over 15 years. I go way back with Joey. I've known him since I was 17, so maybe like 6-7 years ago now.
Oh, okay. We knew each other because of Myspace, right? And I think just one of you and actually another person is like only other people I can really kind of keep in contact with even now when it comes to like, you know, Kung Fu. Like, I guess the Kung Fu community in Myspace was very, very small. I don't know, or like we just happened to.
It was pretty small, but you know, it was surprisingly supportive of one another. Like, it wasn't a very mean or toxic group. Everybody kind of celebrated each other's achievements and growth. Like, actually, it was
the other person is Gary Peebles, who is a stuntman. Actually, you know, doubled as Drax the Destroyer in like the Marvel films. Like, he's he's in Atlanta, you know, and he was the other Kung Fu guy.
Did you see his on Instagram? He had like his Captain America style like pull up thing, like when
right, dude,
like when Captain America like pulled the helicopter, dude. Man, he's so like he's got so much muscle, man. It's insane.
Jesus Christ, that guy is an inspiration.
But you guys all met on like MySpace?
Yeah.
And actually, the first time I really met Gary was at one of the Urban Actions, like the very, very, very first one. I met him, and he was doing like this performance there, like, you know, he was doing like one of his forms, and like you can tell like certain people when they actually practice their craft. He was just sitting there. I mean, he was there doing his form, but like he was doing like some internal stuff, and you can see how he. I don't want to sound really, you know, Kung Fu weird again, but like he's doing like breathing techniques. I know what he's doing, and I feel like a lot of people didn't understand. And I was like, holy shit, that's like legit. Like, he's doing like North Shaolin shit. And mind you, at this point in time, I haven't spoken to him in a very, very long time since MySpace or whatever. And walked up to him and I said, like, dude, like, yo, your breathing style, like, I get what you do, dude. You're fucking legit. And he like instantly knew who I was. He's like, oh, dude, you like Joey, dude. I watched Homemade Hero when you made it when you were like at this age. And I was like, oh shit, you're good. So, you know, like I didn't piece it together because he got like more buff, at that point. Now that guy, he's like a sweet dude. He's awesome. He's like a, you know, motivating. Like seriously, like in the
Yeah.
morning when I'm like, oh man, I don't want to work out, and he like look at his since we're in the same time zone, and he's like, it's 4:30, and he's at the gym. I'm like, God dang it, like I gotta go.
Yeah, guys, Cuddle is like the nicest, coolest dude like ever. When he would come to visit us, well, now you're in Switzerland, but
Yeah.
before we would just film a bunch of stuff. So if you guys haven't checked out some of the stuff that we have on our channel with him in it, we did like a couple martial art Mondays. We did some sketches. You guys did the Kung Fu thing. That was really popular.
Forgotten Kingdom,
Oh yeah, Forgotten
no,
Kingdom. The big stuff.
right? Well, because like okay, so I guess since we're talking about kung fu, right? Like, could you? I know that you said you've been doing it for over like 2 decades now or whatnot for a while. But what really got in? Yeah, what got you into doing kung fu or learning kung fu?
Bruce Lee.
Oh
Really?
really?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, there's a couple of things that happened, and it all kind of came together. But I will mention the first time I saw a Bruce Lee movie, I was not really interested. I was hanging out at a friend's house, and he's like, we gotta watch this movie. It's fun because we used to make like videos together. And he put on the Chinese Connection, and I like got distracted and left the room and did other things. And it wasn't until a couple of years later I needed to do a book report in high school, and I picked the most random like book that I could find, which was a ninja book. And I wanted to do a book report on that. Like I learned a nunchuck routine out of the book, and one of my friends in class saw it, and he's like, "Oh, dude, we should make a ninja movie together." So we grabbed another martial artist that was a legit martial artist, and we started filming. We were trying to choreograph some fight scenes, and I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, can you show me like a kick or something?" And he's like, "No, I can't do that. That's against the rules of my school." It was also around that time I actually revisited Bruce Lee, and I was like, Kung Fu. It's got to be Kung Fu, nothing other than Kung Fu. I looked up and there was only one Kung Fu school in my area, like 40 miles away. And I was like, that's it. I got to learn it. So my, I started just before I got my license. So my dad had to drive me and then until I could drive myself. And as soon as I got my license, I was it started once a week, and then I moved it to like 3 days a week, and then I was there all the time.
That's all. Like so straight. Like you
Hey.
went directly to Choi the Foot. Like that was your first
It
style.
so it was my first style because I had no other choice. Like I didn't there was only one school and it said kung fu. Like if I had done research or whatever, there wasn't much available online. I kind of wanted to do Wing Chun just because that was like what Bruce Lee started with. And this school just said kung fu. So I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And I took my first lesson and it was just awesome. The instructor was great. He, like I did like the classic, like, private lesson, introductory lesson, and then you take a group class and it hooked me. And I was like, that's it. I got to do this. And then as I began learning and I learned more about the art itself, I learned how cool it was and how much it matched what I wanted to learn in martial arts. Because, like not only Bruce Lee, but Jackie Chan was a huge influence on me, and Legend of the Drunken Master. And like I wanted to learn drunken boxing and use the Kung Fu bench. And those were things that were actually in the curriculum. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect for me. So yeah. Actually, there's Jason Rainwater. I keep in contact with him too. Like he was in that community, and yeah, man, he's a karate instructor, and like there was some strong ties to the martial arts community and the kung fu community on
Yeah, right.
MySpace.
Social media, like while in the beginning it probably like brought people closer together, it also kind of made everybody kind of distant in the sense of like they're kind of numb to the idea of like knowing really cool people from everywhere else, but since they don't have the
That's
numbers
true.
or something.
Yeah, no, no, and I think you get caught up in like some of the things where the platforms try to suggest who you should look at, and it just steers you away because they see, oh, you only look at karate posts or you only look at judo posts. So kung fu,
Wait,
Yeah,
pause real
right.
quick. Just wanted to say Jason Rainwater commented that he remembers
uh,
MySpace and he met you back in 2005 Cuddle on MySpace. That's
yeah, it's
funny.
been that
Damn.
long. Yeah,
Dang. See, 2005,
yeah.
2008.
in terms now, and I think there's a lot of people, especially now, there's a lot of channels coming out with the whole like traditional martial arts is bullshit, and I agree. I agree to some degree, right? Also, not a lot. I think it's especially with kung fu. Like, how do you guys feel when it comes to people now not seeing the benefits or the efficacy of traditional martial arts, right? Especially when kung fu is like a big thing nowadays with all of these, let's say, right, like the fake masters who like never fought a day in their life, and they're like, I'm gonna fight an MMA guy. I'm 60 fucking years old, right? And I've
Yeah.
never fought, and I've eaten well my entire life because my family clan has been rich off of peddling stuff. I never fought. I'm gonna fight this guy. Gets punched in the mouth. Like, I get that. That's why I think it's stupid. But how do you guys feel about the whole people looking down on traditional martial arts?
I
If
mean,
you
I
think
think
so.
martial arts in general, it just goes like really, really deep, and I feel like the normal person, they just kind of, I mean, you don't really deep dive into that stuff unless you're like fully in it to really understand the art, understand like the techniques and everything. So there's just I guess ignorance to like martial arts for a lot of people. So then they just assume, and with films nowadays and just with all of like MMA and the cage fighting and stuff, nobody really cares about the art form. They're just like, yeah, I just want to see people beat the crap out of each other until like they bleed, and it just makes me feel alive or whatever reason. I just honestly, like, yeah, people can have their perspective about like martial arts and whether it works or not, or whether they have respect for it or not. I just think it's just more so the ignorance that they just have for it. They don't know much about it. They just make assumptions and then put their opinions out there with no real research or knowledge of it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of sensationalism about it because they constantly hear, you know, when they watch MMA, they hear like, oh, this is the ultimate test, and these are the your top athletes, and
Mm-hmm.
this is they prove the what works and what doesn't. And I think when they hear a lot of that, they become hypercritical of the traditional martial arts because it doesn't appear the same as they see in mixed martial arts and
Mm-hmm.
in combat sports competitions. I think there's a lot of factors that have led to this. One of them being that people watch, like when they ask the question, for kung fu, how come we never see kung fu in the ring? And I think one of the simplest ways of saying it is your expectations of seeing kung fu in the ring is a shaped kung fu movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't define kung fu. Like me doing crane beak, in the ring doesn't make it kung fu. A punch that I throw is a kung fu punch, even though it may look like a boxing punch to you. A kick that I throw is a kung fu kick, even though you think it looks like a Muay Thai kick, because you don't think it's what you think kung fu should look like. You can, like a lot of people just end up writing it off.
Yeah.
But I will say there, and I've noticed this already a few years ago, and you'll see it happen more and more. Like take the question mark kick that everybody's all about now. I've known that since my like third belt when I was beginning to like learn martial arts. My instructor was big on kicks, so I had known this. We had a different name for it, but the question mark kick. It's not something that started recently, and um, you would throw that before, and a lot of people would be like, "That's dumb," that would never work in the ring because at that time everybody was just throwing Muay Thai style roundhouse kicks. They would barely throw front kicks and never throw side kicks, and it just didn't work. They didn't see it, so they didn't think it would work. And it did. It takes a fighter to throw the kick to knock somebody out, and then all of a sudden it's super effective and it's
Mhm.
modern and it's this and that. You see, like this recent calf kick. That's nothing new. Like that's straight
Right.
up like that's the next thing you do after stepping on somebody's foot. Like you kick them in the shin, you
Yeah.
kick them in the calf. Like it's not anything new. It was good strategy in a fight, and it's been in many martial arts. So I think people will start to see it, and those who know traditional martial arts know that those things are there. People that don't know traditional martial arts just think that it's part of modern stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to say, this current pandemic has put a lot, has given a better perspective for a lot of people, the benefit of training in traditional martial arts, because you didn't always have training gear, you didn't always have a sparring partner, you didn't always have gloves or headgear or any of that kind of protection. So a lot of your training was solo training. And if you're going to shadow box all day, that's awesome. A lot of people don't have the discipline to do that, and they want to work on techniques and they want to remember these techniques. So it's nice to have a set or a choreography or a form to do it. And
Yeah.
there you go. There's that traditional training.
I love
I
forms.
think that's
Freaking love forms.
I'm all about them.
Yeah.
I do kung fu.
I know. I shadow box all day. That's like my low impact cardio. Like I actually saw something that like G posted today. Hero G, if you guys, obviously one of our guys who 3-time Golden Glove champion, so he knows what he's talking about. It's that he posted something and it really made sense to me. It's like a lot of people, when they see like martial arts or something, or like even just with like training like MMA or boxing, they just want to hit like mitts. And something, I guess, also what Jason Rainwater just posted earlier, like how people like are in a rush to get into the fight and they don't have the deeper meaning of the arts, and and it gets drowned out with all of the flash that you see. So when you see like people training on Instagram, when boxing, all they do is this choreograph like mitt combo work, and it's like like a 3-minute like long choreographed thing. Like that's cool. I get that, and if you could hit that, you could hit those marks. That's awesome training. But then I think what G said something about like you have to study your art so you can like learn the basic fundamental steps so you could actually get into a position where you could throw combos, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, I guess same thing, with wushu and stuff like that. While a very athletic sport and everything, you're it's the showy parts of what kung fu is, right? If they showed the wushu training, like how many hours where you're just walking up and down the fucking court, just like doing front kicks, just swing kicks, no one would want to do wushu.
Yeah.
No one, right?
I took one class once and I couldn't move the next day.
The most boring parts of wushu is what builds the foundation, right? So there's still, hitting the mitts, all this flash and stuff. Like, I guess that's what people see when it comes to boxing, but like no one just learns how to just walk right, or like the amount of cardio or like steps or the drills you need to do. And I think that's really what like traditional martial arts is. And I guess when they don't see the, even with karate, right? Like no one sees just the conditioning. The conditioning karatekas do would be enough for people to be like, yeah, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That actually brings up another thing too. There's a double standard as far as like training equipment. So, like I love it when people say boards don't hit back, because I mean, Bruce Lee said it and it was really cool in the movie, but neither does a hanging bag. A hanging bag doesn't hit back. Your mitts don't hit back. Like they may swing sometimes, but that's, like you use that stuff and it has a purpose. Like breaking a board has more of a purpose than just to look cool. Like it's to learn the transfer of energy, to learn your alignment. It's to learn actually that you have to put power in your strikes and where to snap and follow through. Like,
and if you don't break it on the first time, like on the first try, your hand hurts. So
and it's a huge mental thing too. Yeah. Like you start fearing hitting the board because you're going to hurt yourself again, and you have to break through that mental barrier before you can actually break through the board. In my first couple of times working with you, like that was a hard thing for me to do, was to not make contact and not do, because like we do 2-person forms and there's a certain amount of conditioning, and like you hit people's arms and it's normal. Like we don't try to go through, you're not trying to injure them, but there's heavy contact.
Sharif is like a prime example.
Sharif was, but you know what the thing was? When I filmed with him, that felt like I was comfortable. Like I was swimming in my, like in my own water. Like I felt so natural to that,
Sharif is super fucking legit. I like
him. There was the one shot where he like he pulls back and he throws that punch. And I remember like I'm I remember looking at his fist and while he's throwing this punch, and I was like thinking in my head, man, I'm glad this is a fight scene and it's on film because if this dude really punched me, he'd put a hole through my head. Like
Yeah.
he's got so much strength in
Yeah.
his strikes.
Oh yeah, dude, you were already awesome. The moment like I started talking to you, and, because like show the foot, I feel like you don't hear that much here, right? And then I see you doing like actual Choi foot like forms, and like I know a little bit, obviously not as much as you because like I've been kind of exposed to it. So I'm like, oh shit, that is Choi foot. Like that really is it. It's not some generic. I guess now you can tell if they're doing long fist wushu or like actual long fist, right? Then same thing. I think with Steph, you would understand when somebody's doing like legit taekwondo or like generic martial arts kickboxing in turn like
Yeah.
that itself as like taekwondo,
I had a
because like
student that would like after like his first year of lessons, moved up maybe 1 or 2 levels in that time, still beginner. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I think I know enough about this art. I think I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna go do something else. Like, whoa, man, I've been doing this for like 15 years at that point. I was like, I've been doing this for like 15 years and I'm still learning new things all the
Yeah.
time. Like, it's not just steps or techniques. Like, you learn how you do your movements and learning how to do things better. And like, you don't like check your ego, buddy. You don't know that much,
Yeah.
but whatever, you know what? Go ahead, go master another art.
Yeah, master. That's the crazy thing. Would you ever actually consider taking another martial art?
It would be fun to. I've always like I love watching bagua forms. I love bagua. I love the circle walking. I love the giant broadsword. Like I love watching it. I would love to learn like Eagle Claw. I think it's so cool with the 108 joint locks and the striking points and all of that. I think it's really cool looking. And I would love to learn, like even a Japanese art, like maybe do some sword work and stuff like that. But in a realistic look, I think I'm very satisfied with what I'm doing. And I still don't feel like I hate to say like the word master, but like I don't feel like I've learned as much as I can at this point, and my body hasn't hit the standard that I wanted to at this point. So to really I don't think I could give the respect and the devotion to the art that it deserves if I were to go to another art. I'll start with by bringing it up from Kung Fu first. So one of the things is like people miss out of a lot of modern training, even though they learn like some weapons forms and they learn some weapons techniques, is there's something about it once you understand how to use the weapon. Like you should train safely first off. Like if you're going to learn how to use a sword, start with a wooden sword or start with a blunt sword, a dull sword. But at some point, you do need to. There's a difference in training with a sharp sword as compared to a dull sword. You have to be aware of every single thing that you're doing. You cannot have one distracted moment because you have a chance of hurting yourself there. Even if you're just swinging it around in the air and you're just performing movements, you have to be in the moment and you have to focus. And I am a big fan of training like that. And I've trained archery and I love archery. And it's the same kind of feeling like you can't be anywhere else. You have to be in the moment when you're connecting to the target and you're, pulling the string, drawing the bow back. And when you release that string, even after you release, if you let the hand move or whatever, it's going to affect the shot. So you have to be in the moment. Even after you fire, you still have to be connected to the target. And I do think that there's an art to marksmanship and using guns, because you have to. If you don't shoot a gun, you don't know what kind of power you possess in your hands. Like it's a crazy amount of power, destructive power, and it's so instantaneous. It's so fast. It's not like what we see in movies where somebody can shoot and then somebody ducks out of the way. Like to stay with focus and to keep that focus on your target, to not get distracted by what you're doing, is also just a huge exercise of being in the moment. So I think, like I'm not promoting that everybody should just go out and like just, get, crazy guns and just shoot them to cause destruction. But there's a lot that you can learn about focus and a lot that you can learn about your posture and how the body works in a split second moment with it. So plus for personal home protection, if you're going to practice a technique, like you don't have to have like a you don't have to have a crazy assault rifle to protect yourself at your house. If you
Okay.
feel like you need to protect yourself, knowing how to access and to get the weapon out to present it and be safe and not shoot yourself in the process or shoot something that is going to ricochet, and actually be able to know that you can hit your target if it comes down to it, and also having the feeling of shooting something to know that there's a consequence to you pulling that trigger. I think it is important to know. Like I do think it is. Like I'm not crazy. Like I don't have any guns. But I do actually really enjoy shooting in a marksmanship set. Like you get good groupings and you try to make sure that you can become more accurate. And I think there's an art to it. You can look at it on two ends of the spectrum. On one end, the person who thinks like, I just get a gun and shoot everything, like they can actually see like this is serious. Like you don't screw around with this kind of a thing, and you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And you're probably not as accurate as you think you are. Like, I just shoot him in the knee. Like, yeah, right. Like that's a target that's like you're gonna hit him with this, and from this distance, no.
If you can't beat Time Crisis in the arcade with 1/4, you're not gonna.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you can do that, then maybe.
Maybe.
But then on the other end, though, too, like you look at the other end of the spectrum, like the person who does not want to deal with guns and they think it's all destruction and it's all this and that. Like you understand, like actually the safety that has to be involved in actually using the weapon, and people that actually run gun ranges and things like that, that's their number one priority. There's a ton of videos out there when like people do dumb things where they're trying to take a selfie and like just holding a gun up like this for just a second, and they get like kicked out. They get like right away. Like it's all about safety because it's destructive. It's like the most efficient style of weapon. I mean, like guns and I guess all these military weapons these days, but it doesn't require much to cause a ton of damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a wow. You put that into words very eloquently. I like that.
Knocked it out of the park there. I mean, I wanted to talk more about like what you've been up to lately, because I know you started the new channel. You have your book that's available. Is there anything new that's going on with you?
So yeah, I mean, I've been working on my website over this last year, and I'm at the point of right now us filming this. It's not released yet, but hopefully soon I'll have my first level of Tai Chi instruction available, or online learning, so people can get on the website and learn Tai Chi and have full in-depth lessons with explanations of movements, details, and all of that. I think for the first level, there's something like 30 plus videos, and yeah, I want to maybe less. I don't know. I may have to trim some out because it may get too much, but there's a lot of videos and a lot of extra things that people can
a
get
lot to learn with Tai Chi, and I think I think put it out there. I think it really is. I think same thing. I guess we learn martial arts, or I think somebody said this before, and I thought it was really good. Like we learn martial arts. There. I guess there's two parts to martial arts, right? Like self-progression and self-preservation, right? And the self-progression is just us to become better people. Self-preservation side, that's when the martial part
side of
comes
it.
in.
Yeah,
like learning actual weapons to maim or kill somebody, or techniques that could really hurt somebody, like stuff like that. And sometimes sure, it might not be something that we would want to do, but I hope we never get into that point that we would have to use it. But you gotta do like some Ashita Kim like death bomb on someone.
Oh my god.
Man, I wanted to actually make like a vlog style video out of this, because it's really this is something I think about a lot, because
Mhm.
I am a martial arts teacher online. And if you look at my videos, there's only so much that I teach. And it's usually to follow choreography and movements and training to make your martial arts better. But there's still a disconnect. So I think I think in the end, to learn a martial art at its highest potential, you cannot learn it online.
Mhm.
Like that's one thing. Like you have to have a teacher that you can interact with. And from my perspective as a teacher, I don't think I could give somebody the fullest experience online without actually being able to be there, make adjustments in real time, even just in basic positions.
Mhm.
Rotate, like turning an elbow downward or just making sure that the wrist is, in a good position. I'm not able to hold pads. I can't give that direct feedback because when you hit something, you get feedback, you feel it. But then also, as an instructor, like if I'm holding a pad and somebody punches it, I can feel it when the hit is correct. I can
Mhm.
feel it when it's disconnected or off angle. I can feel when it's weak, and I instantly know like, oh, well, this is most likely where we need to look. Turn your shoulders more, turn your hip more, make sure that you tense up here, whatever. And I think that's that's one of the biggest things that's lacking is you don't have that feedback and interaction with an experienced instructor.
Right.
You can learn the movements, you can learn the mindset, the concepts, the tactics, you can learn how to train them. But if you were to go side by side with you yourself like learning online and you yourself learning with an instructor the exact same material, you will have much more depth in learning it in person than online. However, you can still learn the forms. If there's nothing else there, you can still learn the techniques and the forms and the training. And you can, if you get training partners, you can do out of a lot of exploration and kind of figure things out through trial and error. But it makes it such a longer process to get to the level where you could be if you had somebody experienced in the art. So
If
it's
you
like a
would,
yes and no.
Okay.
you're kind of learn something that could be already taught to you, like the little intricate details, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
even
I
if
mean,
I think about it too, I think, I mean, obviously, yeah, I agree. You can't learn a whole style online, but I think that in a weird way, if you have a very good background in any martial arts, I think you
yeah.
could pick up something a lot easier
So
online.
that's true. So that's a really good point. And I think that's something that I can mention too. Like I watch a bunch of martial arts videos from a bunch of different styles and watching like analysis, fight analysis and things like that because it's really important to hear how other people explain the same concepts and details and you learn stuff from how other people explain it too. So yes, if you do have a foundation in a martial art, you do have a better chance of learning another martial art online. But again, it requires a lot more work on your end, training from learning from online than it does, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be easier, but it's you're going to have
But
more resources in person than online. You have to do a
Mhm.
lot more exploration on your own. But yeah, man, like that's a really good point on that. And honestly too, like I said, I only teach so much in my videos, and one of the things that I haven't taught a lot of was application. And
mm,
I think I might teach more, I guess, after COVID, and I can actually do stuff
apply
with people.
it.
But I always held back on application because if if I can't make if I can't help you do it correctly,
Mhm.
then why just watch me do it? Like, and it's so easy too when you have, if I'm back on camera and my opponent is on camera and I show the technique, it's very easy to point out, oh, well, why don't they, what if they did this, or that's never going to work against that. And it's like, yeah, you know, you, when I'm in front of you and we're in the moment, you'll see it's very hard to detect some of these movements. Like, one of my favorite examples is like a big swinging uppercut, like
Mhm.
something you see in Choi Lei Fut. And even for a long time myself, I didn't think that was very practical. But I realized that from the side, if I'm explaining to you guys how I would do this, you would see this huge motion and this big swing here, and like, oh,
Mhm.
I could see that a mile away. But when we're standing in front of each other at a punching distance, when his hand drops back, it's a craziest thing. And you have to be there in person to see it. But like it goes out of your vision for a second. And then the timing of it's moving, but you don't know when it's gonna hit, it sneaks in. And it's one of those weird things, like a big swinging uppercut that you could see a mile away when you're watching from way back and just spectating. It indirect, like when it's direct to you, you can lose that in you can't track it. Or like if I'm doing a hook or a big swinging hook, like even if I was just screwing around and I'm like going like this, you don't know if I'm gonna go up over the top or if I'm gonna go low. Like you can't tell. But if I'm going from the side here and I'm talking about, oh, I'm gonna hit the head, like yeah, you could see it because I just told you and I'm doing it the same way every single time. So that was kind of a personal thing. Like I just wanted to avoid all the trolls and everybody like commenting, and it never worked, but like I want to make sure that if you're learning this from me, you do it the best way that you can to make it effective.
Exactly what you're saying. And I think application is very it's like the iffy part of all of this, right? And if you're not in that position and it's like hits aren't coming at you, you'd never think anything is possible. Like, oh, how can somebody get hit by a question mark kick, right?
Yeah.
Because that's you don't know when it's coming. Like like the hit that you don't see coming is what really hurts, right?
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like when you're trying to learn something, and this is like for the people that we're trying to learn from books or the people that are trying to learn from videos nowadays, is when you go to test it, you're not an expert at it. So it's probably not going to work your first handful of times that you do it, especially if your partner knows what's coming. But if you're trying to spar, like you get a friend and you try to spar and scrap with them and you throw it and it gets stopped, you can't just write it off because, oh, it didn't work my first time. Like, get over that. You suck at it right now. You have to get better at it and you have to throw more of these.
Yeah.
So like having an instructor there would help you get through that a little bit faster. But
because eventually, the instructor, like, oh, well, this is what I did to get back better faster. Might work for you, might not work for you. But like some people think that they could shadow box a 1-2, and they're like, I could throw this shit with full power,
Yeah. And also your instructor is not going to punish you for doing it wrong. Like if you're just sparring with just some dude, your buddy or whatever, and they catch a kick, they're going to throw you down or they're going to punch you or whatever. But your instructor's going to be like, they'll catch it and let it go and like get you through it.
And especially, I think when we're talking about traditional martial arts, where, for us to learn traditional martial arts now, there's a lot of people that have died to pass on this knowledge. Like, oh, well, Michael died trying to do that like big swinging, turning uppercut punch. Maybe we're gonna cut it down. We're gonna cut, you know what I mean? And it became like it's like that's an old sport science, right? Now you lose a match, okay, maybe that punch doesn't really work, right? And that's sport science. It's still traditional martial arts, also based off war, right? And I think there's a lot of respect that we should have, I think, for traditional martial arts, to even get to a point that we are in a civilized society that we can have televised combat sports where people don't die on the regular, where a fighter can make a career feeding his family, even in Thailand doing Muay Thai fights.
And actually, like going back to when you look at Kung Fu and the footwork, and it's very like stance to stance to stance. This is something I was kind of exploring with recently. And that is when you teach somebody footwork, if I wanted to teach you to take a step here and take a step here, one of the best ways is just to standardize it. And that's why you have very standardized blocky footwork in some of the traditional martial arts. And a lot of people look at that as unpractical. But if you look at it as like it's like doing your squats, you're not going to do squats when you're in the ring, but doing your squats before and learning how to do your footwork and having some kind of a standard so that you can go home and practice and remember and show other people. That's why you get that stuff. And I know that's I forgot to mention that earlier, but I did want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. And people think like like you said, shapes choreography in the ring, right? Like I'm not gonna cat stance like really low, almost pistol squat, cat stance in the middle of a fight. But if I train that at home, I know my legs are strong. Yeah, my legs
Yeah.
could be strong enough. Like also pivoting. It's like the idea switching stances. It's like it's weight shifting, like pivoting and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all weight distribution and yeah.
I don't understand. Like it's not, yeah, because like I guess with the Tai Chi connection, it's not just like one pose to the next. It's like I don't want to blow her up, but like explaining to Angela like capoeira, like the jinga and stuff, right? I was like, dude, it's literally just shifting your front stance, and you just shift front stance to horizontal, front stance to like whatever, and like she can't do it because I think it's how she was taught, like the style that she was taught, and I think it wasn't. It was so rigid in terms of like say the sports karate style that they don't have that mentality where you do stances to switch your footing. It's not really like this is not really combat effective, but you as a solo training when you didn't have training equipment, you practice your stances and your legs the most efficient way possible, and stances was that. All right, I guess she said something, but that's just her.
So we got a question from Alex. Is it a Kung Fu Hustle Axe Gang reference or question mark?
Yeah, so a little bit, yeah. So yeah, Axe Gang, obviously Kung Fu Hustle, or like the Axe Gang was actually, I think it was a legit gang.
Actual triad.
But
we shouldn't celebrate, but okay.
Yeah, I designed the shirt or whatever just because I thought it would be kind of a cool thing, and
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
On the back it says like double hurricane axes, like after the to Li Kui, the black whirlwind, or in the Choi Li Fut style, we have a double axe form, and it's called like the double hurricane axe form.
It's just nice to have a guy on here.
Yeah, I mean, okay, because I know we can literally talk hours and hours and hours about martial arts. Because I mean, we all just like love very traditional martial arts, all in all. But honestly, like Cuddle, thank you so much for joining us. It's like really nice catching up with you again, and everybody that's like tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to follow Cuddle if you guys haven't already. He has like 2 YouTube channels now. You guys can go over to his website, sifukuttel.com, put all the details in the description and whatnot. And hopefully, after this whole pandemic is over, we can bring Cuddle back and we can make more projects, more films.
Yes.
Because we have quite a bit lined up for the future.
So many good ideas that I can do with Cuddle now.
Many.
It'll make you look badass, dude.
Awesome.
But
that's it. Yeah, let's do this again.
Yeah, and everybody, please definitely check out Sifu Kuttel on all his social medias. Check out his website, everything. And yeah, thanks, Cuddle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Some
Thank you so much
deep
for having
talks
me.
about martial arts. It's awesome.
Yeah.